This is Beyond Second Life, Camie Rembrandt's SLMOOC17 webinar called Creating and Saving Virtual Worlds Offline. She's saying today that we're going to be watching several videos, including the presentation, ask questions, share experience, and even start using Sim on a Stick. Camie Rembrandt, known as CM Elias in real life, is an independent e-learning professional, officially certified as a vocational and professional trainer by the Portuguese Institute for Employment and Vocational Training. She has a BA in History and a Postgraduate Diploma in Education endorsed in E-Learning Pedagogy from Aberta University in Lisbon. Since 2010, her work has focused mainly on creative expression and collaborative learning in interactive 3D environments, that is, virtual worlds. She also teaches, writes, curates content about educational multimedia communication, tools and strategies, creative writing, and digital storytelling, and is the owner of the Creative Learning Park at Chilbo in Second Life and the Educational Sim Learning Lab on Craft World Grid. And that's where she's known as Camie Rembrandt in virtual worlds. So I'm just trying to figure out how this is working. It's my first time here on Facebook for a presentation for the SLMOOC. So we're all waiting here for Camie to see what we're supposed to do next. There are a couple of versions of this video, and I'm just scrolling around to see if I can find what we need to do, and all of the students from the Second Life MOOC course are just coming in, as well as Doris Malero, who's one of our other organizers. I'm Maggie Larimore in virtual world, and Nan Zangroni in real life. And this is me talking because I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. So we'll see. We can see that Camie is working the page, liking all of our info, but hasn't given us any instructions as yet. So I'm sure she will soon. We have to reload the page. Gotcha. Okay, I reloaded the page. Okay, so we're seeing all of the people signing in and saying hello and talking about who they are and their interests. We have ESL teachers and part-time and full-time online teachers. Xenia is a professor of art. Okay, so Camie wants to know about our experiences. So we have a little bit of a thing here to fill out. So let's see, number 1 was this guy, hello everyone. So let's look for number 2. Number 2 is welcome. Great. Now let's go back up to and then let's go back to 3. 3 is the purpose of the webinar is to provide an introduction to Sim on a Stick. So we'll have several videos to watch and share. And now we want to go to number 3, which is, where is it? I am trying to find it. Number 3, that's number 4. That's the, and number 3 is this one that we looked at a minute ago. And everybody's writing on this. So now I'm going to go to number 4, which is her survey. So do you use any OpenSim based worlds like Kitely or Craft World? Yes, I do. Let's see. Number 1 is no. Add an option. 1 yes, 2 no. Yeah, that's me. Oh, so I'm getting to see other people's responses. Let's refresh the page again. I'm sorry if I'm about to post a video, refresh the page to see the new posts. Okay. All right, let's do that again. All right, let's go down. I'm going to go down to 4 and see what the answers were. Where's 4? There it is. So Doris and I have answered yes to using OpenSim-based worlds like Kitely or Craft World. And we're in DigiWorlds as well. And no to Sim on a Stick. And I'm beginning to hear something. All right, so let me go back up and refresh the page again. And somebody's typing a comment. This is a new experience. Follow the numbered posts. I did that. Okay, so we did 3. And we have about 8 people, I think, that are here. Okay, and we did 4. And okay, this is just the info below. So let's go back to the top and refresh it again and see. And I'm refreshing the page again so I can see new stuff. And let's see where she's at now. Scroll up and down. Thanks, Jerry. Okay, so a lot of people are saying hello and introducing themselves. Followed the number of posts, so we still don't have a 5. Oh, and we have 3 people who've said no to both questions, so they haven't been in Kitely or Craft World. And none of us, I think, have used Sim on a Stick as yet. Camie's been talking about how important that is. If you are not able to get beyond a firewall to a virtual world outside in the school that you're teaching in, you can build a world on a stick. And she's also talked about, in conversations we've had in the past, about how you can build a world and then save the archive files and put them out on a more positive, a more public place as well. So you can use them to practice. There's lots of things. So we'll hear this from her. And she's going along, responding to all of our comments at the moment. Okay, I'm going to go back to the top and refresh again and see where she's at. And I'm just commenting on other people. You can see this happening. The video to watch is in 05. Okay. Let's go down and find 05. 03. 04. 02. Let's go back up to the top and refresh again. Not seeing 05. Oh, I see it now. Okay, so now we're going to go to the video in 05. This is the first video, is a presentation beyond Second Life using Sim on a Stick to use virtual worlds offline. And we can watch it here, or we can go to YouTube. So let me see if I can click through to YouTube so we can get a...
Welcome to Beyond Second Life, a presentation about using Sim on a Stick to create and save virtual worlds offline. This presentation is being narrated. Read the words, a free, web-based service that assists people with written material. I started using SL back in February 2010, when I was studying for my postgraduate diploma in education, specializing in e-learning pedagogy. And I never left. I still use Second Life today. Second Life is very good for networking with people with similar interests. In my case, that means people interested in creative writing, digital art, and of course other educators. However, less than 2 years after starting to use Second Life, I also started to use OpenSimulator. So I became aware that there was a big metaverse beyond Second Life. More importantly, I installed Sim on a Stick on my computer. And that changed everything. But what exactly is Sim on a Stick? Sim on a Stick is a standalone, single-user Windows package of OpenSim. OpenSim, short for Open Simulator, is an open-source multi-platform, multi-user, 3D application that can be used to create a virtual world and is accessed with a viewer. Sim on a Stick can run on a USB flash drive or other convenient location, like your computer's hard disk. It is important to understand that the virtual world created with Sim on a Stick is not connected to the web. With Sim on a Stick you can create a private offline virtual world in your computer, and that has a lot of advantages for content creators as well as for educators. If you're a content creator, you might like to know that with Sim on a Stick you will be able to experiment in your own virtual world without having to pay for virtual land or for uploading images and other content like mesh objects. The virtual world created with Sim on a Stick is not connected to the internet, so the lag you experience should be minimum. You can save the artifacts you create in your computer as prim and sculpt objects, but also converting them into mesh items. You can save your entire inventory, or just a certain folder in your inventory, on your computer, by turning the inventory folders into IAR files. You can also save as many complete virtual worlds as you want on your computer as OAR files. For example, the Sim on the Picture is an educational island I've created using Sim on a Stick. I've saved the Sim as OAR, and, using that format, I can share it with collaborators, or upload it to an OpenSim grid. It is important to understand the difference between an OpenSim archive file and an inventory archive file. OpenSim archive files can save everything that is rested on a sim, buildings, furniture, scripts, animations, etc., as well as all the necessary asset data so that you may fully restore the terrain, even on a different grid. OpenSim archive files do not save any item that exists only inside your inventory. Inventory archive files can save everything that is in your inventory, clothes, animations, scripts, buildings, trees, etc. Inventory archive files do not save items that are rested on your SIM, but do not exist inside your inventory. By working offline first, and saving your work on your computer, you protect yourself against any public grid outages. You can share your work without having to first upload it to an online grid. You can even share your work via email, or a service like Dropbox. SIM on a Stick is a port of OpenSim. That means you can take your virtual world with you, on a USB drive, and run it on anyone else's computer, without having to install SIM on a Stick on that person's computer. Installing SIM on a Stick on your computer can take just a few minutes. The video on this slide was made by the founder of SIM on a Stick, and, although the current version of SIM on a Stick is different, the process of installing it did not change much. It's easy, and fast, as you shall see. In theory, any viewer that works with OpenSim will work with SIM on a Stick. Nevertheless, the most commonly recommended viewers are Imprudence, Singularity, and Firestorm. I like to work with Singularity because this viewer is less taxing on my computer and allows me to work faster. There is an immense wealth of free content for OpenSim available online. All that content works with SIM on a Stick. One of my favorite free content websites is Zadaroo.com. On that site, you will find everything from animations to hair, as well as inventory files and entire regions you can load into SIM on a Stick. There are free inventory folders online, and just like you can save your SIM on a Stick inventory folders using IAR format, you can use the same format to load inventory folders into SIM on a Stick. The same applies to the OAR format. You can load an entire region into SIM on a Stick using an OR file. It's time to recap some of the main points of this presentation. SIM on a Stick is a free, standalone, single-user, Windows package of OpenSim. SIM on a Stick can run on a USB drive as well as on a computer hard drive. You can load and save inventory folders using IAR files. You can load and save entire regions using OR files. With SIMONISTIC, you can create and save as many virtual worlds as you'd like. In order to install SIMONISTIC, go to www.simonistic.com, click on Single SIM Installer, and just follow the instructions. Here are a few other useful web pages, including more sites with free content to use with SIMONISTIC. Thank you for watching this presentation. I hope to have inspired you to try SIMONISTIC.
I think we may have... Oh no, this is new on her computer. Okie dokies. This is good. This is more clear. So we're waiting for a response. So we've gone through 2 videos so far. I think there's a third one coming. Okay, there she is. Next is Postgraduate 7, the 3rd video. Okay. All right, let's go back to the top. A great example of how to use an SOAS in schools. Okay, I don't see post 7, so let me refresh again. Here we go. 3D rocket building using Sim on a Stick at Coffs Harbour Public School is an interesting example of how Sim on a Stick is being used in schools. The teacher's comment about this project reminds us how children enjoy learning with this kind of technology. Students in 3M and 3.0 again worked with virtual world technology during their math sessions today. This time their challenge was to flip and rotate 3D objects to create a rocket ship. This was very difficult as they also had to learn how to snap objects to the grid in order to align their projects with greater precision. I have to learn how to do that. I did not expect any students to complete this task as it was only the 2nd or 3rd time they had been exposed to this technology. Wow, I was proved wrong, as a number of students did complete the task with amazing precisions. Excellent work, everyone. And then we write done when we finish seeing it. Let's see this video. So number 8 is our little survey about how we would feel about using Sim on a stick. I'm not sure what I would use it for, although I'm doing some building in DigiWorld, and maybe this would be a great thing to use, but it's certainly, especially since I could probably do it offline. I can do it offline, and that would save time. Very interesting. And how great to see such happy teachers, happy students. How great to see that. So Camie's going to be answering the questions. We're all asking questions about the students in the video and also about importing and exporting out of worlds like Second Life or other OpenSim worlds and then into the stick or off the stick into Craft World or other OpenSim worlds. So we'll see what Camie has to say. She's going down the list and answering questions in order. So for instance, when Jerry asked about the hardware the students were using, she said, as far as she knows in the video, it was a computer lab and the computers were not connected to the internet. And then she says to remember that Sim on a Stick is single user and offline and only for Windows people and not for Macs. And then Lucia is asking, supposing I ask my students to bring a pen drive, how much memory would you recommend? And Camie says, SOAS is 136 megabytes itself. Add the OAR, the IAR, those are the export files, the archive files. And she said, I'd feel better with 300 megs or more. So Lucia is saying, well, then a couple of jigs on the stick would be okay. And then I'm asking, when you export your OAR files onto your Sim on a stick, what does it look like? Is it like a holodeck that builds it all around you? I'm assuming when it's IAR, you're importing things you build or clustered into an inventory folder in your viewer, but do the OAR files go to the inventory or do they go directly to the land? And she's saying OAR files into SOAS look exactly the same on DigiWorld or Kitely, for example. That's cool. Doesn't know about the holodeck. And she says, yes, everything rests on the Sim, including the buildings, get saved into OAR files, as long as you've got the right permissions. That sounds good. And then Jerry says, could be used in prisons too, where there's no internet available. And then Marilyn was asking, do students get an avatar to be in World, or this is like a 3D program to build? And Jerry's saying it looks like a default avatar, pretty much like Second Life. And I'm telling him, great idea on the prison thing. And Lucia is suggesting, so all of this could be imported into an OpenSim world like Craft World, for example. Then I'm giving him some information about exporting things that you've built yourself as XML files from Second Life to take into an OpenSim world, and mentioning this really good tutorial on YouTube by John Pathfinder Lester, who used to be the head of education at Linden Labs. And he said, and I tell him that I've done that a couple of times myself. I have a library in Second Life, and I've been slowly exporting all the library stuff that I built so that I can put it in a library I'm building in DigiWorlds. And now I'm thinking maybe I should do it on a stick. Then I can do it on my laptop in a cafe that doesn't have secure Wi-Fi and bring it home to the desktop. That would be cool. So Camie's wandering around and doing more stuff. So Marilyn's saying, let me see if I'm getting this right. You build a world, save it to the drive, then you share the world with someone by giving them a copy or access to the world. The world itself could contain activities for the student to do, but they don't inhabit the world like you would on Second Life. Well, that's a good question. Let's see what Camie says about that in a minute. Okay, now let's go back here. She's saying, when you load the OAR file, it becomes the Sim. Right, so that would be like the escape playground in DigiWorlds, where James Abraham uploads the entire installation, which has a bank and a cafe and a shopping mall and an airport, a school and a church, and periodically he makes changes to that, and then he just puts that back down on the Sim and it copies over or somehow bumps the other one out of the way. And he gives his teachers a notification that that's happening so that they know when they come back there's going to be an update in the playground. So that's something to look for. Okay, let's go see if she's answered some other questions. I'm asking about whether or not when you bring in a new OAR file for a sim, does it just overwrite what was already there? Oh, and oh, lovely. Okay, here's a link. Let's go see this link. This is a place with free stuff for OpenSim worlds that includes an avatar. Oh, I think you got to know what you're doing to use this page. Very interesting. Okay, let's go back over to here. Yeah. Okay, let's go see what else she's replied to. I'm reminding her that last year James Abraham from DigiWorld got into a discussion with her about OAR files. And that's the first time I knew that Camie had this kind of expertise. She's amazing. She's a teacher of language too. I'm not, but James Abraham is. Okay, so in response to Marilyn, she's saying, you're quite right about the students would inhabit the world as a single user. So that's how Sim on a Stick works. But that Marilyn is quite right about all the rest, that you can create a whole world with activities and give a copy to each of your students. That's so cool. So I'm just wondering now if the student can hand back that Sim stick to the teacher and the teacher can assess their work just checking their Sim stick. Okay, then Marilyn was asking again about resources. Can't I interact with the student or answer questions? Marilyn is asking, and Alan's saying, Marilyn, the teacher is running a server just like Linden Labs, and the pupils are running the viewer on their own PCs, accessing the server over the local area network. So the teacher could launch her own viewer. So as long as it's out on the network and not still on a single stick, I'm not sure how that would work. We'll have to see what Camie says. Let's go see if there's any more responses. All right, time to refresh the page again. All right, let's go slowly and see if there's some new questions. This is very active. And new responses. Okay, so let's go back and explore this a little bit while there's more things happening over on. So this is public domain OpenSim sources. This is the, let's go to the home page. Metaverse sources, okay. And then they have downloads. So if I wanted to download an animal, oh, it gives me a picture of the animal. You download the zip file, unload it, log it into the grid of your choice, choose import and upload from the file menu, pick the item you want to import, and wait while it builds itself in World. Then you name it and take it back into your inventory. Wow, these are great. Let's see what else. Let's do buildings. So I wonder if this means I can do this in DigiWorlds, because I could use a pier. We have buildings. Wow, that's complex. You can tell that I'm working on an empty piece of ground in DigiWorlds. Plants and landscaping. Very nice. Actually, some of these things are available on Kitely for free too, because I've gotten a number of things that look a lot like these. Okay, and then let's see, an IAR. These are inventory archives. Interesting. Just want to see where that goes. Whoa, and then that gives you the zip. Cool. Okay, now this I obviously can't do, but let's take a look at these and see if there's photos. These are the OAR files. It's a different file format. Oh my goodness. These are complex, so this would cover an entire sim. Amazing. And these are Zoomtada avatars. Very cute. Okay, let's go back to Facebook and see what's been happening. Number 10. Okay, cool. Links to a post that explains how to turn an OAS into a multi-user platform. I've never tried it myself, so don't guarantee it works, but John Lester has and says it does. So Marilyn is responding to that by saying, since my institution will not give me access to a server, I need to run my own server over my own internet service so my students can access it. Is that right? All right, let's go look for number 10. There's number 9. All right, let's do this up again. Okay, that's number 9. Okay, I want to go back to the group. There's number 10. Okay, so this is how to turn a sim on a stick into a multi-user platform. Common sense. Never tried it myself. Pretty old post. May have changed. Let's see how long this is. Okay, so this is just a web page. So if you, let me pull this up so you can see the, there it is, metatek.blogspot.pt/2011/07/user-sim-on-stick.html. I'll put this in the wallboard cards too. I'll leave this open. All right, let's go back and see the response. Oh, and here's number 11. This is a course syllabus, resources for educators. Created a course syllabus for those who attend my webinars on this topic, but also to help educators who, although unable to attend the webinars, are nevertheless interested in learning more on how Sim on a Stick can help them use virtual worlds in their classrooms. Feel free to share this page. So I'm going to go out and grab that page too. And that will be in the wallboard. So this is a page on Camie's blog called Teaching with SOAS.blogspot.pt /p/resources-for-educators.html. And I'll put that elsewhere. Oh, excellent. Lots of links here. So this will be in the wallboard for the course. Let me go back over here and see what's happening. Go back up to the top. It's our pinned post. You know what? Let me check. There must be one from Camie at the top here. All right, let's look. Okay, and then we want to go back here. Oh, we're in the Second Life MOOC. Oh, this is good. Peonia is sharing this out to the group for the course as well. All right, let me go back to the main thing. So Camie is saying that Marilyn's idea that she needs to do this on her own server over her own internet service for the students, and she said that's the right approach. And then she's just posted number 11, which is a link to a page with loads of content about teaching Sim on a Stick. Let me see if I can find 11. Let's go back to the discussion. That's 9, that's pinned to the top. That's 10, we looked at that. This is 11, I've already picked this up. So this will be in the wallboard for everybody. If you're watching this because you're interested in Sim on a Stick and you don't know about the course, this is an annual course that we do on teaching in virtual worlds. For the last 4 years, we've called it SLMOOC 17. It's not really a MOOC. We sometimes get a few hundred people on the Moodle installation portion of the course. This year I think we have about 50 or 60. And then in World we have maybe 15 to 20 really active people in World. And in World, by in World I mean in Second Life, where we have a headquarters building that contains the physical syllabus. And then we also have a public Google Calendar and a public table of presentations on a Google Doc. And I love that from Doris. And also a public PowerPoint with all of the biographies of our faculty this year. So and next year we're going to call it VW MOOC. We don't charge anything for the course, and we certainly don't monetize the videos. And we put as much information as possible into, let's go to this. She's looking for last questions, insights, and opinions. So we've been using SLMOOC because we're based in Second Life, and we will be again next year as well. We don't charge for the course, and we certainly don't monetize the videos that we produce from the course. But next year we are going to call it VW MOOC because we'll be more metaversy. This year we're on Facebook, we're in Minecraft, we're on an Adobe Connect, we may be on Periscope, we're on Second Life, we're in DigiWorlds, and we're hoping to have a hypergrid tour as well of OpenSim worlds. Next year we hope to have more installations on other OpenSim worlds such as Kitely and so on. So we're getting, as we've been saying, metaversy. So now I'm going to respond to this. So I'm just telling her thank you so much to Camie Rembrandt, our presenter today and manager of the Facebook page, and asking her if the software is still being supported, because the actual page for that looks a little bit lonely. And now I'm going to go and see what Monse wrote. Oh, she's laughing because of Doris's Happy Feet Snoopy, which means that all of these teachers on here are seeing a lot of wonderful ways to use this particular technology in their teaching and learning, you know, in their classes that they're teaching and in their classrooms and so on. And Lucia is asking the same thing about whether or not the actual technology is being updated. So let's wait and see who makes another comment. Technically the presentation shuts down now, but I think we can go a little bit longer and see what else happens here before we wander away and close off the video. In fact, let me go and pick up the discussion forum info for everybody and go back here. So Camie is saying that if it looks complicated in terms of how to do multi-user sim on a stick, that it's better to start with a simple world and use that maybe as a one-on-one assignment for your students. Doris is saying, wonderful Facebook webinar, wonderful demonstration on digital literacy. Thanks to Camie Rembrandt, you just rock. Well, that is so true. Okay, let's go find... Here we go. And then we'll go to 12. Ah, great. And Camie has given us a way to update the software explained on Sim on a Stick. So just scroll down a little bit. So I'm going to go and open up Sim on a Stick as well. And then I'm going to go back over here. And Marilyn has said, thank you. This has been very interesting. I'm looking forward to trying it out. I need to think through this approach with college students who think they're beyond anything that's animated. Okay, and let's go see what else has been said. Oh, wrong place. I gotta go back to Sim on a Stick. All right, let's refresh that. Okay. Polaris saying thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to go back down to Camie's initial post. Oh, and now what she's going to do is change the group so that members can also create posts. Hopefully this group will become a place to exchange ideas about teaching with Sim on a Stick. Feel free to share your SOS projects here. Fantastic. We'll put this in the note card too and encourage people to join the group. And thank you, Camie, so much. This has been fascinating, and it's wonderful how you are creating a permanent resource for all of us. Thanks again. So bye from the Second Life MOOC presentation on Sim on a Stick by Camie Rembrandt. That's Camie in Second Life. Let's go up a little bit so you can see her. Also known as Camie Rembrandt in virtual worlds and Camie Elias in real worlds. And if you go to this, if you go to the public schedule or you go to the Second Life MOOC headquarters, click on the calendar or click on the wallboard, you'll get this link to this group, which is now going to be public and available for discussion. And let me go back over here and say thanks again. Thanks again. Shutting down the recording, and we'll include all your links in the description below the video and in a note card in the wallboard. And thanks so much for this presentation and the creation of this permanent group for all of us. Okay, so thanks everybody, and we hope you can join us in the SLMOOC in Second Life through the month of June in 2017. And if not, just follow all these links because all this information will still be out there for you. Thank you.